Welcome back to the third way of creating a business. And we're going to talk about the third pillar, which is invite. Inviting the right people into what you have to offer. In the first training, we talked about how you attract people into your world through the wisdom of your sage. In the second pillar, we talked about how you demonstrate what you can do for people by actually helping them. And we talked about so many ways you can do this. And once you have access to your sage, you can decide which one is the right one for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about invite and how you invite people into your work in a way that doesn't feel sleazy or sneezy because it is the right way for your DNA. So let's get into it. Invite is about inviting the right person to work with you further. And a lot of people struggle with this part because they miss the other parts. If you've been following in the last videos, the first thing we do was really choose the right person for you. Who is the right person for you? Who is the person for who you can help the most? Who is the person that lights you up? Who can you help the most? Who does your heart want to help? Who lights you up? We choose this person. But we're not going to choose it rationally because our rational mind will choose a different answer, which won't be the right answer. We want you to answer those questions from the access of your sage, which you will be able to find out once you take your assessment and do the work. Invite comes from one, the right person who actually needs your help and is ready to do the work. The second thing that you have done is you've done demonstration, which means that this person actually already has some kind of benefit from your work. So they know that you can help them. When somebody keeps consuming your content, like now this content is on YouTube, when people have gone through the sage human being in business, and they're looking at this and they're like, oh my God, that was helpful. And they are coming to me and I invite them into an offer, there is no doubt I can help them because by the time they come to me, I have already demonstrated that I can help. They already know that my methodology would work for them. They already want to build like a sage creator. They already like the idea of building from your sage. So by the time somebody is coming into my world and into my offers, they've already decided that they want this way of building. And so when I start inviting them into what I have, there's really no convincing to be done because this person already wants to work with me. The mistake most people do is they want to sell and they skip the other parts of the process. You want to sell, but you haven't demonstrated what you can do for people. You want to sell, but you have the wrong person. You want to sell, but you're selling in the wrong way. You want to sell, but you haven't laid the foundation for the sell. It is like in dating. You don't just wake up, meet a stranger, and you're like, hey, do you want to pop kids for me? You don't do that. When you meet someone, you take them for a coffee, and then you take them for food, and then you take them for a little holiday, and then you see their parents, and then you be in their life, and then you be in their life, and then you be in their life, and then maybe you move in if that's your thing. And then after some time, you're like, hey, would you like to marry me? And then after some time, you're like, hey, would you like to give me kids? Same person, different process. If you met this person and you were to ask them to give you kids before they knew who you were, you wouldn't go far with them. It's the same in business. But everything will be an uphill battle if you are choosing what you're choosing from the part of your brain that is not very helpful. If your saboteurs are choosing who you serve and how you serve them, we already lost the battle before we start. So when you don't like how you sell, chances are you don't like how you've done the other bits. So it may be worth it to go back, work on these threads, and get to your sage wisdom. And from there, choose who you help. Choose what problem you solve. Choose what price you decide. Choose how you attract people into your world. Choose how you demonstrate what you do. And then now you come to selling, it will be easier for you because you have the right person, you have the right offer, you have the right price, and now you're just making an invitation. How I sell is like literally a DM. Hey, Sally, I enjoyed helping you the other day. Understand you saboteurs. I have this offer and I wonder if you would like to look at it. It will help you get guidance, step by step guidance on how to build your first 100,000, on how to get your first client in the door, on how to build your first offer, on how, whatever the promise is. Would you like to work together? Would you like to read the thing? And people message me back and they're like, yeah, Prima, I'd like to look at the thing. They read it and they decide whether they're in or out or have questions. It doesn't have to be harder than that. The other way is to do an assessment with someone, get them on the call, give them a debrief and say, hey, would you love to work on these threads together? And they can either say no, they can say yes, they can ask questions. I am purely in my heart of service. I am in myself. Yes is fine. No is fine. Maybe is for babies. So when people say maybe, I want to create a very safe place for them to say no. I want to help them say no. So let's look at the different ways you can sell. This is going to give you like an overview because I'm not going to give you all the nitty gritties because that's in the programs that I have in the backend if you like to go further. But I hope this will be enough to kind of help you understand the concept of how easy it can be to build a business. So how can you sell? What are the ways you can invite people into your offers? You can do sales calls, the traditional way of selling. You can sell on the phone, Grant Cardone style. You can use Google Docs. This is how I sell. I call them Prima Docs. You can literally use Google Docs. Maybe I will show you one of them at some point in another video. You can step on the stage and sell, which is what Matt loves to do. You can sell in DMs, send people messages, chat with them until they buy your thing. You can sell on the landing page. You can have a low ticket offer and you can put it on the landing page, have a 5 sales copy scroll, and sell your thing. These days with ChatGPT, people can write copy when they are blindfolded. So you can have 5 pages of your copy and you can sell your low ticket thing. You can have funnels. You can have free and then $3 and then $7 and then $29 and then you keep. There's so many ways to sell to people. Selling to people is not the problem. How you sell to people is not the problem. The problem is, what is your way of selling? What is the way that will bring ease and flow and results to how you sell? So I find that a lot of people are solving the wrong problem. They're like, oh my God, I want to learn sales calls. Oh my God, I want to master Prima Docs. Oh my God, I want to sell on the stage. I want to master DM selling because it's working. I want to master landing pages and 5-page scrolls. I want a copywriter. I want to master the funnels, Russell Brunson. They are forgetting what is most important, which is how does Prima sell? The best way to sell is to give somebody an assessment and they take the assessment and we look at their results together and I help them understand the impact of those results on their life and business. And I ask them the question, would you like me to help you work on this? Or my best way to sell is to put a Google Doc together, which I like to create Google Docs, and ask somebody, would you like to have a read at how working together to change this situation looks like for you? And they can say yes, they can say no, and they can ask me questions. That's my favorite way to sell. I am not a fan of getting a cold lead and trying to follow a script to say the right thing at the right time to get them to buy. I am not a fan of convincing people to buy. I am not a fan of manipulating people to buy. I am a fan of serving people, showing my value, and saying, would you like to do more work together? This is my thing. I like to come and give you how I do things. And I like you to decide if you would like to come in and you'd like me to help you build your own Sage business. Because as you see, there's so many ways that you can build. But when I work with people, we decide, how do you attract you as a human being? How do you demonstrate as a human being? How do you invite people as a human being? How do you deliver as a human being? So you have your unique permutation as a human being of how you build. Instead of this buffet where you're like going off there and going off there and going off there and bringing pieces and not even knowing why you're bringing those pieces. I really hope this is helpful, because I find that this is the problem. The clarity of, but why am I building a community? Why am I doing webinars? Why am I doing workshops? Why am I writing content on Facebook? Why am I doing this thing this way? Why am I doing videos? Why am I doing reels and shorts instead of long form? Why am I building an email list? Where does that come from? We trace back the fibers and we look at what is coming out of the wisdom of your sage. How do you create? How do you build? How do you sell? We follow that. And I find that this is really what most people struggle with. They're trying to do the right thing, but it is not right for them. And they struggle, and they're like, these things don't work for me. But how do we then get back to the source of the problem, which is you haven't done the work that gives you access to the wisdom you say? Once we do that work, then choosing these things becomes very easy. Then you do not need anyone's validation. You can go, okay, I am going to serve this person. I'm going to offer this thing. I'm going to price this much. This is how I'm going to get them in. I'm going to create a TikTok account because that's my thing. I'm going to create an account on X because that's my thing. I am going to do a free consult. I'm going to do a breakthrough session. I am going to do a webinar, whatever the thing is for you. I am going to then sell on the phone, sell on the call, sell on a landing page. It doesn't matter how you do it. It matters that that's the way of your sage. So now you see really what the problem is. Not a business problem. It is not a problem of what is working and what is not. It is a problem of what part of your brain is choosing this method. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know what was most helpful about this video. And if this is helpful for you, be sure to subscribe. And be sure to share it with somebody that might find it helpful. When you subscribe and you comment, you tell YouTube that this is valuable for you. And what YouTube does then is it shows it to more creators like you, which is how we change the world, one sage human being at a time.